That Bay Area. What's up, Richmond, CA? There's some real stuff right here.
I can't think about coming down here.
It's IG, man.
Add on.
Once upon a time.
Add on.
I knew how to rhyme.
Keep you at home. Me on. Or me want to own. Me on type of flow.
That's all I got to say.
Me on.
All right.
Or me want to own. Me on type of flow.
Welcome back to another episode of the Add On Podcast. Back at you with another episode, man. Let's get into. I want to talk about 6ix9ine. Definitely somebody I never really talked about on the channel before or the podcast, but obviously him getting jumped. I think it was the other day at a LA Fitness, I believe in Florida. Bloody, messed up, stomped out, cursed out. Like them dudes really got him. And it's a part of me that kind of feels sorry for 6ix9ine. And then also there's a part of me who kind of like, he got what he deserved, you know. I definitely don't like, I just don't like people getting jumped. Like, it would have been different if, you know, the dude would have came with a camera and then the dude asked for the fade or just wanted to fade 1v1. It would have been different, you know what I mean? Even if he would have still got stomped out or whatever the case, it's one-on-one instead of getting jumped, you know what I mean? So I think that aspect of it was a little, you kind of hate to see it. And obviously I'm not condoning, obviously, 6ix9ine acting like he's just so innocent. Obviously, he quote unquote got what he deserved. I think this was for 6ix9ine. Well, actually, before I even get into that, I just want to say, 6ix9ine, he definitely did some controversial stuff, and not even beyond just this whole snitching. Obviously, he broke that code or whatever you want to say with that, but just from this simple standpoint of like, just all the trolling. He does a lot of trolling for sure. I think he's entertaining. I don't think he's a good rapper. I think he's entertaining. You definitely got to get 6ix9ine that. You can't really say like he's not funny, but there's definitely some things he talks about and does that just controversial. Quote unquote is gonna have karma come back to you, which this did. I think just posting up saying I don't have security and where you at. I'm saying all my ops can't touch me and just doing stupid stuff like that. Sooner or later you're gonna get caught, and it kind of happened here for him. So obviously this proves you do need security at all times. You're a threat. You having tattoos all over your body doesn't help. So, and when somebody sees 6ix9ine, they gonna know it's you, bro. Like, it's no hiding. You did what you did. You gonna have to forever live with that. So I think with 6ix9ine, he just gotta watch the way he moves, with certain things like that. But and even some of the trolling he did, I remember even when King Von died, like just trolling at certain people's rappers' deaths and stuff like that. That's you can't do that, man. Don't. You could troll somebody, maybe okay, troll somebody because maybe their album sales flopped, or maybe they, you took his girl, or what, something stupid. But like, don't troll somebody's death or something. That's taking it real far, and I think that's even put a bigger target on 6ix9ine's back, and kind of, I believe, kind of one of the reasons this happened to him. So part of me definitely feels bad for him because I hate anybody getting stomped out like that. But then another part of me be like, man, he had this coming because all the stuff he does, man, he basically asks for it, you know what I mean? So I think this for 6ix9ine just need to be like kind of a humbling experience. Once he gets recovered from the hospital, I wouldn't come back and troll. I feel like he is gonna come back on the internet and troll and say, "Oh yeah, I got jumped, but yeah, y'all jumped me, y'all some punks and all this and that. Yeah, next time I come with my security, like, nah, just don't do that. This should be a humbling experience for you. The dude that stumped you out, obviously he was wrong. You should have just one-on-one him, or not jumped his crew or whatever. I don't even know how many people was in the video. I kind of saw a little clip of it, but it wasn't all, just all that. But he definitely was bloodied out and stuff like that. But bottom line, I think 6ix9ine this need to be a learning experience for him. He needs to, just humble himself after this, realize all the trolling he's doing and all this. It's just not worth it, bro. Like, you already got to live with the target of being 6ix9ine anyway. So you got to have security probably for the rest of your life at this point. Because no matter how many years pass by, they're not going to forget what you did. And the dudes that's in the jail doing your time, when they get out, they're going to want to get you too. So it's just like, I feel bad for the dude, man. But he's just putting a bigger and bigger target on him. But this is just like kind of a wake-up call for him. So, slap in the face. But like, hopefully he can seek help, you know what I'm saying? And just, I don't know, man, kind of just change he can't change necessarily his image, but kind of the way he moves around, you know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, you did snitch, but I mean, you could not even put more pressure on you by doing stupid stuff, the stuff that I just named and stuff like that. But that 6ix9ine situation is pretty interesting. We'll kind of see how it plays out once he gets recovered and see what he does. I hope he takes my perspective, takes my advice. Don't go try to just feed more into it. Just kind of be like, yeah, I got jumped. I think this was a humbling experience for me. And just, I got caught lacking and just, maybe I do need security. And I'm not untouchable because nobody's untouchable. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get got at some point, you know what I'm saying? And so you gotta be smart in the way you move and have your security 6ix9ine. So this definitely proved that. Let's jump into obviously Ja Morant. Ja Morant, one of the most exciting players in the league, and with him, obviously today actually was his first game back in the NBA since his whole suspension. I didn't even watch the game. I don't know who won. I don't know how many points he scored. I did see this one dunk he had on. I think it was Kenyon Martin Jr. Went up with off two double clutch. Like that dude's bounce is insane. But all the stuff he was doing just early on. First time I kind of, quote unquote, not necessarily bashing, but first time I kind of just, I got to touch on it. I know I'm late, but I got to touch on it. What he was doing before was wrong. Obviously, I know if I had a $200+ million contract, I wouldn't be, flashing guns and trying to act hard. Well, you ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. You already made it. So I think Ja just kind of had that wrong image, and he even admitted himself he was trying to be somebody, who he wasn't. And I just saw little clips and things like that. I still haven't watched that Jalen Rose interview, that sit down he did. I just watched little clips of it, but I definitely got to watch it for sure. It was just kind of weird to see. But on the other hand, too, I'm actually glad that I like Ja, so I wasn't rooting for him to lose all his deals. He already lost, I think he lost one deal, but he definitely didn't lose that shoe deal. The Nike was behind him, and he said he was getting seeing help, but only took a couple of days. So it was a little bit of a like, did you really get help? But, everybody's different. And I don't know necessarily if he had a drug problem. I wouldn't say that, but maybe he had a little bit of a drinking problem, and maybe he was just in his own head. And I'm not necessarily saying what I was talking about this with one of my friends as well. Like, if you're on Ja's level, and the homies you brought up and stuff like that, kind of rock with you. You cool. You get to rock with the same people, but you can't take everybody with you, and you can't move how everybody else move because you got more to lose. They may not have, really nothing to lose because they not an NBA player, one of the best players in the league, $200+ million contract. All these younger kids who look up to you and all these sponsorships and everything. You know what I'm saying? Ja Morant. You know what I'm saying? You walk in the door, that's Ja Morant. You know what I mean? Your homies, they may not be on that level. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, so just like if they doing certain things. And just several, incidents that he had, you know what I'm saying, with the younger 17-year-old boy punching him, the laser, was he in the car, was it from a gun, and flashing a gun on IG, a whole bunch of stuff from Ja. So obviously, you know what I'm saying, that was in the past. I think now he's, hopefully he changes. Like I said, we really don't know we got to see what he does from here on out. I'm pretty confident he will. I mean, I don't think people would say it was some crazy comments. They were like, Ja gonna be the first NBA player to make it out the league. Most of the time, people are talking about make it in the league, but we definitely don't want him to make it out the league because he's definitely got the talent to play for many, many, many more years. So it's just all on his mental, and what he's kind of thinking there. But hopefully the therapy and everything he's been, diving into, people who's been trying to tell him, what I'm saying, he shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. Just know we're not, trying to just bash on you. We're just trying to get on you. That way, you can change. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, like we all say, like we was in how many people in the world want to be in your position? How many people in the world wish they could make the NBA and had the fame and the money and all the accolades and all the talent that you got? It's a gift from God. Not everybody. You don't never see too many Ja Morants just walking down the street. Like, you know what I'm saying? That dude got some talent for sure. One of the best guards in the league, obviously. So I think for him, he's just gotta, change his mental, change the way he move around, and just I don't want to say cut off all your bad friends or quote unquote bad influences, because I feel like Ja's in a position now where he's not in his teens, so I don't think they're gonna necessarily, they've been influencing him. So I would say if it continues to influence him, I would say cut him off. But I would say, you can still rock with the same friends, but let them know, hey, if you're gonna do this, if you want to go to that club and do this, or if you want to do this, I can't do that. I'm not about that. I still rock with you, but you guys can do that, and call me when you're done, or whatever the case may be. I'm not necessarily saying cut them off, but you, because of who you are and how much you got to lose, can't move around with certain people. And I think once he realizes that and just changes his mindset, stays laser focused on the goal, what I'm saying, getting to the NBA Finals, winning the championship, that's his goal, right? So you got the talent, you got a nice team, and just, stick with it. And then everything else will kind of fall in line how it needs to be fall, and chips will fall where they may. So I think for Ja, I don't know how this therapy or whatever went for him, but I think he's I think he'll change. I think he will. I think he definitely will. Learning experience. Obviously, he's still young. I think he's only like 22, 23 years old. So still very young. So everybody made mistakes, and even people who've had his back. Paul Pierce had his back. All these other people. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not talking about that whole past situation no more. We're moving forward, and hopefully, Jai move forward too. And just, I'm definitely after this podcast. Check out the game, his first game back. See kind of what he did his first game back. How many points he scored, did they win, or whatever the case may be. So obviously, you got to get kind of back into the rhythm of things. But that dunk I seen today on Instagram was pretty crazy. Yeah, moving on to bodybuilding though. Moving on to bodybuilding. I know I'm a little late on this as well, but obviously the Arnold Classic wrapped up. It was a couple of weeks ago, I believe. I was going for Nick Walker. I thought Nick Walker was gonna win, but surprisingly, Samson Dowda won the Arnold. That's crazy. Andrew Jack took third too. Everybody impressed me. The whole lineup, really nobody was off in the top 5, really. Rami was even better. Clarita was better. Andrew Jack definitely was better. People saying Andrew could have won. So really that top 3, I feel like any of those dudes could have won, and there wouldn't have been no debate, or there could have been a debate, but there wouldn't be like a whole just petition about this dude shouldn't have won. You know what I mean? Like Nick definitely could have won. Samson could have won, which he did, and then Andrew Jack could have won as well. So I think when you're looking at a complete bodybuilder, or just, I would say I'm not just saying it because I'm a Nick Walker fan. If you go pose for pose, I do think Nick won at Arnold in my opinion. But I guess that's just not how they judge bodybuilding shows. Cause you look at that, I think Nick, one thing he do got to work on, buddy, his front lat is horrible. Nick Walker's front lat spread is horrible. He has to work on that, man. Like he probably had the worst front lat out of everybody in the whole entire show. Just the way you can barely see his lats for one, and then it's just like his stomach just comes out. So that's not a good shot for Nick Walker. But I'll say, obviously, front double bicep, he's probably number 1 or number 2 in that lineup. I probably still give it to Andrew Jack, just because the way his flow and the way he kind of leans, and you can make a case for Samson as well. But if you get into the back double bicep, that's Nick all day. Back lat spread, that's Nick. Side chest and side tricep, I'll give to Nick. And most muscular, I can arguably give to Nick. So that's like 4 or 5 poses for Nick right there. So it's like, shouldn't he win? And he won the best, the most muscular award. So I don't know. I guess this is not how a bodybuilding show is judged. Just not pose for pose. They look at the full flow. And obviously, Samson Dowda's physique is better. Everybody's physique is going to be better. Not proportion, but I would say flow and symmetry and shape is going to be better than Nick, because he has a kind of a blocky type of physique. So I think with Nick, if he can bring those quads up, people saying he's flat, I definitely didn't see that. I think he was by far the most conditioned guy from front and back in the whole lineup. You look at Nick Walker's glutes, his hamstrings, his back double body, that's lights out when he hits it. Samson is good, but he's not as wide, and he doesn't have as much detail. And same thing with Andrew Jack from the back. They need some work. Nick's already there. Nick's already ahead of those guys from the back, and he's younger than these dudes. So, I don't really know how this Olympia is gonna play out, because you got Derek Lunsford, you got Hottie, so it's gonna be interesting. And I still like Michael Krizo too. I don't know what he's gonna, move up into the rankings, but obviously he got some work to do. But I don't really know when I first saw the results, I was like, nah. But it was just me being quote unquote biased. But I didn't have it really. Now that looking at the pictures and stuff like that, I don't have a problem with Samson winning. It's just if if Samson came in first, wouldn't Andrew Jack be in second? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like there's like 2 different physiques. Because Samson is Andrew's way more closer to Samson shape and symmetry and flow wise than Nick Walker. You know what I mean? It's like you want one thing from Nick, but then he gives you it. No, we want that other. You know what I'm saying? You want more muscular, dialed in, shredded Nick Walker. He gives you that. Oh no, he's too flat, and then he gives you it's a whole bunch of different things with Nick Walker. Like people want, it's like they changing opinions. I don't know how the judges do it, but because like I said, Nick Walker said in the interview, if you want me to come in fuller, I come in fuller. So if he does that at the Olympia and still doesn't, I don't know. It's definitely going to be hard, because definitely I feel like Derek Lunsford is going to come in even better. For sure. And if Hottie's off, I think Derek might take it. But now that this happened and Samson won, it's gonna be hard for just for anybody to really win that show. But overall, I think the Arnold Classic was you know, it was a dope show for sure. And even Ramon Dino winning Classic Physique, now as expected. I think Ramon is definitely pushing even Chris. Um, I still don't think that Ramon's probably not going to win the Classic probably for maybe another 2 years or so because I think conditioning and his arms are there for sure. But if you look at the back shots, he's just so much more narrow. I feel like than Chris. Chris got that crazy small waist and the really wide back and lat, so it's gonna be kind of hard for Ramon to kind of touch him there. So once he gets a little bit more width, I feel like he can push Chris for sure. And Chris is already helping him with his posing. I don't know if y'all saw that video he did as well. So Chris is giving him some pointers. Obviously, that's huge confidence for him. I mean, I don't have an issue with it. I mean, if you that confident and you 4-time champ, who cares if you give this dude some pointers? In Chris's mindset, I can get this dude pointers all day. I can give Ernest pointers. Dude still ain't touching me. And I truly believe that. I feel like Chris is going to keep winning until he just decides not to stop. I really don't see a dude just kind of knocking him off, especially with being with Hani Rambod. I don't think that Chris is going to come in off, you know. People talking about he's getting older. Chris is under 30 years old. So it's not like he's so, but I guess in classic physique terms and bodybuilding terms, I guess you're older for classic compared to open. I don't know. I'm still getting into this new wave of bodybuilding, but definitely exciting. And, you know, we'll see what happens in the Olympics. That's definitely going to be, I don't even know who will win that show for sure. Let's transition to Gervonta Tank Davis versus King Ryan Garcia, though, man. This is a major fight, man. I had posted a TikTok. People blew up about 2 weeks ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago. Basically saying that Tank was scared to fight Ryan because of the rehydration clause, which I kind of clickbaited just to get some views. Because I wouldn't say Tank is necessarily scared, but I definitely say he's more comfortable fighting that Ryan at 135 compared to 140. And the TikTok blew up. Over 64,000 views, almost 1,000 comments. Mostly just Tank fans is bashing me, saying I don't know anything about boxing. So I guess you can't put an opinion these days with people getting mad. But my response to that is just like, man, I truly do feel like this is going to be Tank's toughest fight. And I think that he fought Barrios at 140, so why not fight Ryan at 140? I understand that Ryan has more fights at 135. They're both technically 135, but you gotta look at the height as well. Barrios was bigger, so why put this rehydration clause in? That's just me, and I know it's been done before in other fights. And I guess it's just me playing it safe, but it's just like, I just feel like that's kind of like if you so confident, if you fought Barrios at 140 and you saying you're just gonna run over this dude and all he has is a left hook. Why not? Why? It's almost like with everything that Tank's side and Tank's team says, it's like, that's fine, but then why put that in? You know what I mean? It's not like Ryan is going to, realistically, Ryan is not going to, and I know I said in that TikTok, Ryan might blow up to 160. Realistically, if it wasn't a rehydration clause and it was like at 136 or whatever, even if it was at 136 or whatever the case may be, but there was just no rehydration clause where he can just blow up, how much he ever want to blow up, I still don't think Ryan would blow up that heavy. But the most, maybe like 150, what he said, he normally comes in around 148. So 146 might not be that big of a deal, but, and obviously, Gervonta Tank Davis is the favorite. He is the more complete fighter, I believe. I mean, I watched his last 2 fights live streaming both. You know what I'm saying? Watched the whole Hector, I think it was Hector Garcia. Watched that whole entire fight. And I definitely watched that Rolly fight when he knocked him out. And I think the way Gervonta fights is different. So I don't know if the way Gervonta fights, obviously he gives away the early rounds and he just kind of picking his spots and just waiting for you to make that one mistake, just like Rolly did, and he's going to clip you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know. I don't know if that'll work against Ryan or not. Obviously, Ryan has speed, he has power, but I don't know if he has the IQ of Davis, because obviously Davis has more experience, and definitely I don't like how, me being a Ryan fan, I'll admit, like Ryan, he definitely doesn't have the best footwork for sure. Definitely leaves his chin up a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I tell you what, he did get dropped by Luke Campbell, and if that was Gervonta that hit him, he wouldn't have got up. He definitely wouldn't have got up. And I'll admit that, but it's just all of a matter of if he can land that shot. And same thing with Ryan Garcia. If he can land that left hook, that vintage leg hook, or he's saying he got a right hand, let's see. But even if Ryan loses, my thing for me is just I want to see Tank get humble. Like, I want to see him get humbled and just like the both. So even if he lose, Tank never been dropped before. Ryan has been dropped. I want to see how if Tank gets dropped just to see how he responds. Because I like both fighters for sure. I like both fighters. Just Ryan is my second favorite fighter behind Terrence Crawford. So some people were saying I'm a Tank hater and I'm black. Why you not going for your black people? It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's boxing. So it's just like, normally I tend towards the fast guys who got, really good hand speed and stuff like that. That's why, I like the Sugar Ray Leonards and the Alis and people who got really, Roy Jones Jr. I like dudes who got really super, that got speed and stuff like and power. They may not be the best fighters, but just, that's just kind of, when you watching boxing, you like what you like, But it's going to be an exciting fight, man. And I don't know. I picked Ryan because I like to go for the underdog, and I really truly think he's gonna shock the world. But I don't know. The more and more I hear about this rehydration clause, and I kind of hear about that, and just imagining him on the way and how drained he's gonna look, it's a little concerning for sure. But yeah, you got to give it up for Ryan. And some people are saying that they're trying to make all these excuses so for when he loses, he has a fallback plan to fall back on, or saying, "Oh, I got dropped or I lost because of the rehydration clause." I mean, at the end of the day, Ryan didn't have to sign a contract. So if he is trying to make excuses, I don't agree with that. I mean, you didn't have to sign the contract, but you also got to give Ryan props. If he didn't agree to these terms, rehydration clause, whatever the case may be, there would be no fight. And I'm also hearing that Terrence Bud Crawford and Spence fight is getting close. But I've heard that a year ago and it didn't happen. So I'll believe it when I see it. But I don't even care about that fight. That fight is going down the drain now that this Tank fight is happening. So if they do make that fight happen, they better make it way past this Tank fight. Don't make it anywhere close to this, because even when the fight is over, people still gonna be on this fight, even just like months after it probably. So they got to make sure they build the hype up for that Spence Crawford fight if it does happen. I hope so, but it's either now or never for that fight, because we don't want to see another Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather where they fight when they old. Nobody want to see two over the fighters fight. But yeah, man, it's gonna be an exciting fight, man. Definitely an exciting fight. I mean, stylistically, I'll even say that Ryan versus Tank is a better matchup for Ryan than Ryan versus Devin Haney. People knock me for this, but I do truly think that Devin Haney is the best fighter in the lightweight division. I mean, from what I've seen, obviously he don't got the knockout power. He doesn't. I mean, I watched both Kambosos fights, and I was just waiting for Devin Haney to clip him and knock him down. Knock him out. Every time Devin Haney had hurt, he just kept coming but didn't have no power. So I agree with that. Obviously Shakur is definitely somebody to look up to, because he was Bud. Bud Crawford's one of the best, so Shakur got to be good. And obviously Shakur, some of his fights I've watched, he might have better defense than Devin. Honestly, Shakur is up there as well, but I think I'm talking about the reason why I said Devin is the best boxer in the lightweight division, because I'm not talking about just speed and power or speed and IQ. I think overall, when you talk about, like, Devin's up there speed-wise with Ryan. And then also defensively picking his spots, waiting to move around. Like, I feel like if Devin were to fight Tank, it'll be very hard for Tank to kind of hit that shot. He literally have to track and walk him down to hit Devin. I think, but I think the same thing with Ryan Garcia. If Ryan Garcia fought Devin Haney, I don't think he's really touching him like that. Devin's just gonna use his distance. That's why they make comparisons to him with Floyd. But they make comparisons with everybody to Floyd. They were saying Shakur fight like Floyd and all these other dudes. So it's like, we gotta leave that Floyd thing alone. Floyd is in a class of his own. Devin is Devin, Shakur. But obviously that lightweight division, we've been saying it for years, man. Probably the most exciting division in boxing, I'd say. Heavyweight, obviously, with Deontay Wilder. I truly don't think there's anybody in that division that's beating Wilder, obviously, besides Fury. Deontay has yet to beat Fury, and maybe never will beat Fury. But I mean, if you stack Wilder against Usyk, Joshua over Reeves, he knocks them all out. I don't know. The first fight, okay, he came up. I don't know how the heck Fury got up in that third fight. If you watch that right hand, you could literally. And I was watching it again. Another clip. Joe Rogan was talking about it on his podcast, about how he hit that right hand and you can see his body just ripple underneath. Just that power in that right hand. The way he knocked out Robert Hellenius, it seemed like he knocked him out with a jab, dang near. Like that was truly remarkable from Deontay Wilder. So I mean, he's definitely gonna go down as probably one of the best heavyweight knockout, not just heavyweights overall. Obviously, he's not like that, but him and Tyson are right there for the best knockout heavyweights of all time. And when you talk about one punch knockout powder, Wilder might be at the top, debatably. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, if he goes through, he beats all these other dudes, and there's a fourth fight with Fury, will he win? I don't know. Because, I mean, he's arguably lost all 3 times. I know there was a draw the first fight, but he said that, most people said that, Fury won, even though he knocked him down twice. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to even dive on that one. But that Helenius punch definitely was insane. But that wraps it up, you guys, man. Feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, follow my Instagram. Link will be in the description if you're watching on YouTube, of course. And yeah. Smash the like button. Follow my other channel. Subscribe to my other channel, Emmanuel R&D. Link to that will also be in the description. And I will see you guys next episode.